Good evening. My name is Evy, and my topic is the modern communication phenomenon. Language is one of the limitations of communication. I was inspired to write this research by some quote of an author. It sounds like this: language has created more loneliness to express the pain of being alone, and it has created the word solitude to express the glory of being alone. Moreover, I'm quite interested in psychology, and that comes into contact with language, so that I came up with this topic. Language is one of the most important inventions for the human being. It opens way to our mind and thoughts. But today, the aim of my research is to show what is really language, how modern system of communication is fragile, illogical, but living and constantly changing. First of all, we should talk about what are thinking and language, and about interaction of this process. Thinking as a separate idea, it's a perfect system with another different elements. If the elements of language are letter signs, letter combinations, words, phrases, and etc., the elements of thinking are individual form of thought, like judgment, judgments and other combinations. Psychology distinguishes between three types of thinking: imaginative, technical, and conceptual. Now let's talk about language. It's not only so-called sound words, it's also structural relationship between its elements. It's a system that allows you express thoughts, store them, transmit and transform. By the way, we came to think independence problem. The catch is that said by another person, we put through our own filters of knowledge, experience, ideas and emotions. It works in the opposite direction. When we say some phrase, we expect that the part of the mind eaten by the limitations of language, the receiver will destroy by himself. If we're talking about thinking independence problem, there are going to be some research. I asked people to draw some words. First one, pretty simple, a cat. Next one, also understandable, a chair. And the last two words are abstract. There you can see results of questioning. When we say a word, a cat, anyone can think about an animal, but only half thinking about an animal with body and head. Well, someone thinking about only head part. With the chair, same story, because there are different variants of thinking about chair. There are more interesting results about power and love. When we say power, we are thinking actually not only about crown or people, we are thinking about lips, fist, middle finger, the Kremlin, and etc. When we say love, we are thinking also about lips, heart, the opposite, broken heart, and holding hands. This question shows us that one word implies many concepts and forms for different people. Now let's look closer at the language as its structure. Can we say about logic in grammatical categories? There are different opinions. For example, the Greek philosopher Aristotle believed that logic lies in the basis of grammar, while the more pleasurable view for today is the mismatch of grammatical and logical categories. It is supported by almost all the linguists. When we see all these paradoxes, we obviously want to change language in the better way, so it would be less contradictory. For example, there was a person, Ludwig Wittgenstein, who tried to change language in a formalist way. He proposed to remove from language all the synonymy, homonymy, and approval with multiple values. One statement equals one logical atom. In that case, we would put each statement in detail, not entangle and process. Then Wittgenstein broke his own theory. The projection of creation ideal languages has been reincarnated in making artificial ones. Now we have serial Google Translate, which have failed due to their lack of flexibility for such languages. Ultimately, we can say that when the logic comes to the first place in the language forms, language drops to zero, and all the essence of linguistic forms comes to dead end. What I want to say that language has a huge impact on presentation and understanding of our mind and thoughts. Language has limits our thoughts, it limits our communication. Language formation is illogical, and we shouldn't treat it with it in such a superficial way. It's a deep, high-level and independent system, constantly changing and living from other spheres of life. And before this time, when we have a telepathy or another close way to communicate like this, we won't understand each other for 100%. Do you remember this quote I have started from? If it's not the telepathy, maybe one possible way to communicate in the future is loneliness. I reckon not. That's all I want to say.